What's up, guys? Universal Mastery. So in today's video we have a very special topic that we're going to be talking about, and it is 3 ways to raise your consciousness. So if you're looking for those, stay tuned. Okay, so the first way that you can raise your consciousness, and pretty much what raising your consciousness means is it means expanding your awareness. Okay, so I want you to think of your awareness as kind of like this bubble that surrounds your body. And then if you were to take that bubble and push it and expand it outside of you, so now that you're not only seeing inside of this bubble, you're not trapped inside this bubble, but this bubble is actually expanding farther and farther and farther, and now you're able to see what's inside of that bubble. That's what expanding your awareness is. So on a day-to-day basis, there are many things that are going on constantly that are outside of our awareness. And a lot of these things that are outside of our awareness are directly affecting us. Okay, so in other words, there's a lot of things that are happening that we're not conscious of, that we're not aware of, that are causing us to move and walk and go and pursue certain goals, situations, circumstances that we're not even aware of. Like, we may be like, oh, I just feel like going in this direction. But really, if you could expand your awareness a little bit farther, you would know exactly why you feel like going in that direction. So these are really important things, because there are so many things that are going on a consistent day-to-day basis that if only we could understand, why is this happening? Why is this going on? Then you will have a lot more clarity and control over the direction that you choose to move in. Okay, and then you'll have more clarity on an ability to communicate the reasons why you even went in that direction. One thing I hate is when people are like, oh, it was destiny and it, it was the universe that was just telling me to go this way. And I do understand a piece of that, but I hate when people get stuck in that mindset where it's like, oh no, I only listen to the universe. I only listen to the universe, as if they're not a part of the universe, as if the universe isn't a part of them, right? It's like, okay, you're listening to the universe, but obviously there's something in you that's making a decision to go in that direction that the universe is presenting to you. And how do you know that that universal sign is not a complete reflection of what you're creating, but you're just calling it something outside of you, and you think it's completely something outside of you, when really it's your own all-knowing highest intelligence? Okay, so it gets deep, guys. It gets deep. But so I'm going to give you 3 ways to expand your consciousness. One of the most important and powerful ways to increase and raise your consciousness is going to be focusing. Okay, so you want to gain an ability to be able to lock on and focus with laser clarity. Like, you see something, you have the intention, you have the emotion, you have the auditory, and you have the visualization. You're like, this is what I see, this is what I hear, this is what I feel, and this is what I'm going to do. And you go and you do it. Paying attention, just the ability to lock in. Like, as you're listening to me speak, are you able to really lock in? Can you lock in? And not everyone has a voice like I do. Not everyone speaks like I do. Not everyone has an emotional package with the way that they present their messages. So it might be a little bit easier to focus on what I'm saying, because that's my intention as I'm speaking, is I'm trying to gain your focus. But not everyone has that ability. Can you gain an ability within yourself to focus on people, to focus on other circumstances that you got to kind of exert effort and willpower to be able to focus? Because there's a lot of people and there's a lot of situations where there are powerful messages that are going to be spoke and said to you, and they may not be presented in that fluffy, nice, perfect package that you want it to be, But the message itself is very powerful, and you got to have that ability within yourself to lock on with that laser focus and hear for those golden nuggets. So just being able to focus, no matter what it is, like even if you're just walking down the street, just be able to focus on the thoughts that are coming to your mind. Like pay attention to it. Like, what am I thinking about right now? What am I feeling right now? And am I in control of this state? Am I able to manage this state? Am I able to say I'm going to take a left and go left? Say I'm going to go right and go right? Am I able to say this is where I'm headed, this is exactly what I'm going to do, and go ahead and head there and do that thing? Do you have that ability to focus on that level? Or do you kind of set the intention, the goal, and you're like, I'm going to go here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and then you end up doing something completely different. And you're like, oh, I was just going with the flow. Are you always going with the flow? Or do you have an ability to become the flow? Do you have an ability to really follow through on your actions? Okay, because that is a very, very powerful ability, and that will serve you in so many aspects. People will look at you as if you're a god when you, it's funny because like when you're able to say, this is what I'm going to do and I'm going to do it and nothing can stop me from doing it. So many people do not have that ability. They don't have that mental focus. They don't have that willpower. They just straight up don't have it in them to be able to do that. So if you become that person, you become the leader of their life. And people will look up to you. And there's a lot of benefit from that because it does take effort and it does take willpower, exertion to be able to follow through on your goals and your actions and whatever it is that you're doing. And that is something that's worthy of, you're worthy of being a leader if you have that ability. Okay, so people will start to follow you. And if that's something that you want, then you got to learn how to expand you got to learn how to raise your consciousness. You got to learn how to set a goal. You got to learn how to say something and actually mean it. You got to learn how to say you're going to do something and actually do it. That's where like integrity falls into place. That's how you start to build your character, all the things in that nature. So that's the first tip. Focus. You want to learn a way to straight up focus. Now, number 2 to raising your consciousness is going to tie in with number 1 about it's basically going to be in a way that you can increase your focus. Okay, so number 2, there is going to be a certain type of breathing pattern that is correlated with a certain type of posture or something that is happening in your own physical body that is going to allow you to tap into the state of mind where you can then focus. Okay, so when I say you need to learn how to focus, I don't mean just like you're just going to snap your fingers and you're just going to know automatically how to focus, or you're going to just be like trying to like tell yourself like focus, and you just realize like it's just too much and it's not really working how you want it to. There is a way where you can use your body when it comes to posture. I want you to do this right now. Sit in your chair, wherever you're at, sit down and straighten up. Straighten your back, keep your head up, and sit there. Now raise your hands above your head as if it's victory hands like this. Raise it above your head. And remember the time when you literally had one of the best feelings of your entire life, like a massive success. And as you straighten your posture and you sit like that and you have your hands above your head, it might look a little weird to other people, but they don't know what's going on. You will start to realize that you feel like a winner. You feel victorious. Now I want you to lower your hands. I want you to keep that posture. Now try and feel bad. Try and feel like shit. It's hard because your own body contains memories. And in order to tap into those good memories, you have to manipulate and control your body to access those good feelings. And then when you start to access those good feelings, that's when you start to really do the work that needs to be done on a conscious level, because you're in a state of more clarity. So then you're gonna find yourself starting to be more attracted to learning about certain things that you can do to yourself to reprogram your mind, to reprogram your subconscious, your unconscious, and all the aspects of who you are, even your physiology, like the way you look. You might start to become healthier. You might have this urge to want to get to the gym and eat healthy, things of that nature. What I'm saying is that when you figure out these abilities within your body through the neural pathways that you have that are going to allow you to actually shift your state of consciousness through a feeling that you can do with your body. Remember, posture is an amazing one. Straightening your back, standing like a victorious person, and remembering those times when you felt the best you've ever felt in your life. And then with that posture comes a certain breathing pattern. And you sit in that posture and you feel that feeling, and you'll notice that when you start to go out in the real world and you apply that. So now what I'm going to challenge you to do is go out into the real world, and when you go and you talk to people, maintain that posture. Okay, maintain that posture and speak to them. At first, I'm going to tell you this, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable because you're not used to it. You're probably used to like being in your head. When you start to slouch, when you start to think about all the time, all the memories that don't serve you, all the memories that are kind of like, this person fucked me over, I don't like this, blah, 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 blah. You're in your head. You're not in your body. When you get in your body, you're going to speak more sincerely. You're going to speak subconsciously. So whatever you're feeling, your body's intelligent. Like, I hope you know the blood that runs through your veins is literally alive. Like, it is its own being within itself. That is you. Okay? That's why in all these religions, all these ancient cultures, they always talked about the power of blood. Because it's your fucking body. That's why they always talked about your body's a temple. Take care of it. Because your body's in control of your mind. Your mind is not in control of your body. Your mind is a part of your body. So by taking care of your body and understanding the knowledge of the body, like the things I'm telling you, that you can manipulate your body with your mind to then tap into those higher states of vibration, higher states of consciousness, that's going to completely change your life. And then from those different states and postures that you have, when you start to shift your mind, you're going to build a repetition with it. Meaning you're going to know that whenever you get in that posture, whenever you find that way of tapping into that certain type of energetic current that's a higher vibration, whenever you find that ability within yourself, and everyone's a little bit different, and we all have different ways of doing it. For me, I can do it with my hands. I can literally channel energy with my hands. Like, not a joke. And I can also do it with my posture. The reason why I'm explaining the one with the posture is because I think that's a more common way to do it. It's definitely a good first place to start with your posture. I mean, that's going to benefit you in many areas. So back to what I was saying, when you start to fix these postures, when you start to realize that you're actually changing your state of mind by changing the way your body's positioned, and then your breathing patterns are going to follow that, you're going to realize that you're going to be able to actually use that as a platform for, like, when you go out and you speak to people and you go to work or you do what you do, you're going to have a baseline of state control. So now that you're in this new posture, you have this new breathing pattern, that's state controlling, meaning you're in control of your state, in your state, through your body, through your posture. And when you have the ability to state control, that is the beginning of your journey. That is where the journey starts. All the shit that you may have learned throughout your past will then start to resurface itself and structure itself in its own circuit that will lead you to what it is that you want to become. Meaning that you'll start learning and solidifying information a lot more effectively, because it's like a program. When you learn how to manipulate your state of mind through the system, through the body, now you have a hard, you could say a hard drive to now install information. So you're going to do this with repetition, you're going to do it with practice, and you're going to notice how the world reacts to you different. Meaning society will react to you in a different way because you are now in a different state of mind. You are now projecting yourself not from your head, but from your body. Because people, whether they'll tell you this or not, whether they're aware of it or not, they'll read you based off how you're feeling first. So if you can learn how to manipulate your states of feeling, then that's how you're going to be able to maneuver consciousness and move through life in the most effective ways that you want to. So that's this is getting a little bit advanced, but I hope you guys kind of get the concept. It also could get a lot more advanced, but I'm not going to go there yet. So if you're kind of picking up on what I'm saying, if you're understanding it a little bit, definitely apply it. Like, do it with consistency. You think I'm fucking with you? Go out and fucking try this shit. Like, straighten your fucking posture. It's going to be a little uncomfortable at first, but notice when you say things, you might sound different. Like, you literally might be like, what the fuck did I just say? Because your conscious mind, like when you're in your head, when you're in that state of mind, you're always wanting to alter the words that you're saying. Like, you want to edit the words. You want to make sure you're saying the perfect words all the time, which is not the case. That's not what you should be worried about. That's not the things that you should be learning. You want to first learn how to tap into your subconscious and then say the things that are just supposed to come out. Like, your highest intelligence lies in your subconscious. When it comes to black magic, when it comes to, witchcraft, and when it comes to that type of study, the occult studies, we call that the abyss. We call the abyss the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is pure chaos, and it moves in all directions. So when you tap into that, you're in that all-knowing state. Like, it's all-knowing. It's chaos. It moves in all directions. But when you can just let it come out the way it wants to and the way it needs to, you're going to be all-knowing. You might say something so fucking intelligent, you don't even know how the fuck you said it. But all you know is that you controlled your state of mind, and that's why it came out. And the more that you practice it, the more that you do that with repetition, consistency, you're going to have times where it's not easy, but then you do it anyways, you break through certain barriers, then you're going to be able to alter the words you use, because then you're going to be a master at knowing how to speak through your subconscious, let yourself flow. You're pretty much mastering the flow state. Then once you master that flow state, then you're going to be able to learn how to use certain techniques. You're going to be able to add some tools to your tool belt where you can say certain words that literally trigger certain responses in certain people. Okay, and that's when the stuff kind of gets fun. Okay, so if you're hearing me right now, practice, start. Just fucking start. Just practice. Like don't try and get too advanced. Don't get too in your head. Do what I said. It's very simple. Just go out, change your posture, practice with it, and you will see results. There's going to be somebody that watches this, that practices this shit, and is going to fucking see some crazy ass results. And if it's you and you practice it, I want you to drop down in the comments and let us know. Okay? Let me know specifically. Let me know that it worked. Because this shit is real. This shit totally works. I use it consistently. Some of the most successful people on this planet use it. And then the third, okay, we're moving on to the third way to raise your consciousness. Once again, I can't stress it enough, guys. Use foods to raise your consciousness. Foods will totally be able to raise your consciousness. I hope you guys know that. There are certain foods that are literally built to raise your vibration, to raise your consciousness. And most of those foods, literally, like, pretty much what it comes down to is where is the source of these foods coming from? Like what is the life force of this food? So, like, for example, let's say you're gonna eat a hot dog. Okay, the truth of it is that animal was like fucking slaughtered, right? So there's already a level of fear in that animal to some degree before it was killed. Okay, and that's normal. That's gonna happen. You're gonna eat food, like, whenever it's coming from an animal, you're gonna be taking on a little bit of an essence of fear, and you can transmute that. You can totally turn that to power. You can turn that to something that is, beneficial for yourself. Okay, and this is getting on a deep level. This is getting on an alchemical level. Like, you have to start thinking of things in that nature. Like, that's why some people, if you're operating unconscious in this world and you're eating foods that, have a lot of that fear in it, have more fear than other foods, you're going to actually take that shit on. And then you have the media, you have the news that's just feeding that fear into you. And then you become this fucking paranoid piece of shit. and you fucking hate your life, and then you fucking spread that shit to other people because you don't know how to operate, you don't know how to manage your system, you don't know how to control your programming, you don't know how to reprogram yourself. You're just a victim. Okay, you don't want to be that. And it's okay if you are that right now because you're watching this and you're actually trying to make a difference. All it takes is a little seed of pursuing knowledge to unlock some of the most profound gateways and doors to all knowingness, like things that are like you couldn't even imagine. So let's say we have that hot dog analogy that I was painting. The pig gets slaughtered, turned to a fucking hot dog. Now that hot dog's been sitting in a freezer for, let's say, like fucking a week, right? It's just been sitting in a freezer, that fucking grinded up, whatever the fuck it is, intestines, all that shit. Plus all the bullshit that the fucking pig was eating, like all that nasty, GMO fed corn that make the pig fat. Then they slaughtered it. Then they take all its shit, they slaughter it, they grind it up, and then they put the hot dogs in this freezer. And then they bring it out to the market. Now you're able to buy it. Okay, you buy it. Okay, so do you see that whole process? Like, it's not the most fresh source. Okay, like I hope you don't have to be a scientist or a genius to understand that. Okay, now you have to be intelligent to look a little bit deeper, like from the way that I'm telling you. Like this is like the whole process I painted. Like the pig's eating this bullshit. Then they slaughter it, and then it sits in a freezer for an amount of time, and then they serve it, right? Like, that takes a little deep thinking, but you don't have to be a scientist to realize that that's probably not healthy for you, now that you know about the process, okay? So let's compare that to, let's say, some kale, okay? Or let's say some spinach, or we could say, like, cauliflower, whatever the fuck, broccoli, all these things. The broccoli, the kale, the cauliflower, the celery, the carrots, the ginger, all these things are going to be a lot more vital for vibration. They're all going to have a higher vibration. One, because plants in general, plants are so ancient, okay? Like plants are very, very, very alive. Like their energetic vibration is very high. It just is. It's just high. So when you're eating that, you're eating a really good sourced food. And that energetic vibration that possesses that plant is literally going to be, once you consume it, it is actually going to be a part of you. And I think plants are actually intelligent enough to realize, like, you gotta understand, these fucking things are alive too, just like a fucking tree, just like a fly trap. They have mouths. That's a fucking plant. They have consciousness too, but I think because their vibration is higher, they don't get scared when it comes time that they're gonna be like eaten or killed, if you will. It's kind of like we already know this is gonna happen. This is a part of the process, and then they go off to another plane. Who knows what happens after that? What if they might come back as something else? I don't know. Like, who's to say we didn't all start off as plants? Like, isn't that weird? Like, or like whatever, you know what I mean? Like insects and shit. Like, who knows? It's some deep stuff, but I definitely think that stuff's it's consciousness. At the end of the day, it's consciousness, and there's levels to consciousness. So I can definitely see that. But yeah, back to the point is, like, they have a higher vibration. So as you eat those vegetables, those plants, even fruits, you're taking on one, like on a scientific level, you're taking on all the vitamins, all the nutrients that they have, but on a esoteric, metaphysical, and spiritual level, you're also taking on the energetic frequency. And this stuff is also scientific. Like, science is now able to prove thought forms. The video after this, I'm going to make a video on thought forms. But what I'm saying is that when you're taking on these higher vibrational energies in your system, it is naturally going to raise your vibration. It's naturally going to raise your consciousness, because when you raise your vibration, it's the same thing as saying you're raising your consciousness, you're raising your awareness just by a default. Okay, your baseline, if you're starting to eat healthy foods, let's say your baseline's down here because you're not really taking care of your body, you're not treating it like a temple. You start eating healthier, you start juicing, you start studying, like you know, like what foods are going to help me raise my vibration. And then there's so many things, there's so many scientific things that are actually going on, like within your gut health, within your vagus nerve, in your hormonal processes, like what's going on with your emotions. Your baseline is going to go from down here to literally up here just by default from starting to take care of yourself. Now, you'll see results after a fucking week if you actually discipline yourself and start incorporating these foods to your nutrition and things of that nature. Even like supplements, things like that, like fish oils, ashwagandha, you know, they have all types of like herbal types of like supplements, if you will, that can give you these vitamins, like roots and beets, things of that nature. Very powerful stuff, guys. Like, do your research. But it will raise your fucking vibration so much higher, and you'll notice when you start to raise your baseline vibration, there's something that is called an upward spiral. And what an upward spiral means is there's a level of raising your baseline vibration to the point where you're now by default attracting higher vibrational things into your life. You'll notice more, you know, higher vibrational people are going to start coming into your life. You'll notice, you know, you'll start coming across certain, maybe like videos on YouTube that are higher vibrational, you know, things that are literally starting to like connect with exactly what you're doing. Like you might be studying about like your gut health and all these things, then you just happen to stumble across a video, literally out of nowhere, that has to do with exactly gut health and what foods are going to benefit that. Just because your vibration's now on a different level, that you're literally attracting that information to yourself. And then your goal from that point is to actually dive into it and extract that knowledge and then apply it. So that's where I'm going to leave it, guys. Like, these are the keys to raising your consciousness, like massive keys. And if you apply these, like, you're going to see night and fucking day difference. Okay, it's going to be profound. Okay, so other than that, if you like this video, hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well. And drop down in the comments if you have any questions. I'll engage with you there. You can also add me on Instagram if you have any like maybe more personal questions, or if you just want to engage with me on Instagram instead. Excuse me. Feel free to go to my Instagram, drop down those messages there, and I will engage with you. I love engaging with you guys. For those of you who have dropped down in the comments and have, you know, said certain things, you know, you guys know I do engage with you, and I do learn a lot from you guys too. Like, you know, I recently had someone that commented on one of my videos that said some stuff like, hey, you know, check out this guy. He's got some, you know, some cool stuff that you'd probably like. So I love when you guys leave messages like that. I love when you guys share knowledge with me, because I look at you guys as a reflection of myself. So if I'm, you know, if I'm on the right path, if I'm tapping into the, you know, the right energy, if I'm in the right frequency, I'm on the right vibration, that means my audience, the people watching it, are also operating on that level too. And I use you guys as a reflection. Now, once again, every now and then you'll get a hater, whatever, but they don't last, because this energetic current that's created, that's surrounding this platform, that's surrounding my brand as a Universal Mastery, they can't penetrate that. Like, there's not that many negative people that can come in this community, because they can't operate on that level. And there's powers that are protecting it. There's a lot to it. But once again, if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I'm posting as often as I can. And then drop down in the first link below. That's going to take you to my Streamlabs sigil merch. Okay, so I literally have a shirt that has a very powerful symbol. Okay, it's a symbol of power, and it means like, there's not like a specific like it means exactly this, but it is a symbol of power to the subconscious mind. Meaning everyone's subconscious. It's such an ancient symbol that we all recognize it on a subconscious level. So I have a shirt with that sigil on it. Very, very powerful. So make sure you check that out. And if you wear that shirt, I'm still waiting for mine to come to my house. I shipped it to this place, but I think something definitely happened with the shipping, because I kind of live in a weird place in Miami, so it's hard to get the packages in here, because there's a glass door out front of where I live and you have to have a key to get in. So I think the delivery guy didn't drop it off. So I had to call them again and have them ship it over to a different address. So I'm waiting for that right now. But I have received a shirt for my own merch, and you know, they're nice. They're cool. The shirt is a symbol of power, meaning the subconscious mind recognizes the sigil that's on the shirt, and it can literally cause a certain situation to manifest just by drawing a certain person to come and talk to you, or maybe just by you wearing it. You're emulating a certain type of energy. You're emulating a certain type of subconscious and unconscious power. And the subconscious is the most powerful part in our mind. So check that out. It's going to be the first link. It'll take you straight to my sigil merch. And then the link below that's going to take you to my Facebook community. So I just recently started a Facebook community, and you can request to join. So basically, you know, I'm going to put some extra content in there. I'm going to post some pictures. You know, every once in a while I'll post a video in there. And my goal is to get a bunch of like-minded people where we can all, you know, be a part of this community. And you have to, like, if you want to be in the community, I have to approve you first. So, you know, if I'm, for some reason, if I'm feeling like you're not going to be a good fit for the community, then, you know, I'm not going to add you. But I want to keep the community on the same level. I want to make sure that we're all pursuing this higher knowledge, that we're all walking on this path, and that we're all aware of it, so that for the people that are in the community, we can add certain pieces to the puzzle together that maybe couldn't have happened. Because when you tend to get a bunch of powerful people together, you can start unlocking things very quickly. Meaning, like, we'll be operating on the same energetic level, and we'll start, you know, you may be thinking about something, and then this person may be thinking about the exact same thing, but just from a different angle or a different perspective. So that's the kind of dynamic that I've created for my Facebook community. So the second link will take you to that. If you want to join, then click on that second link and hit the request button, and then I'll add you in if you're a good fit. But yeah, other than that, that's going to leave it there. So I'm going to catch you guys on the next video, and peace.